moving on. Got lots of different things we could talk about. Blended families. That's a note that you put in here.
Yeah. I had somebody reach out specifically that's in the heaviness of dealing with being in a blended family where both people have, and obviously it's not always both people, but where in their case they're separated and divorced and then remarried. And you go on a whole rabbit trail about that, but I think that the idea of just the challenges and the weight that comes with dealing with exes and co-parenting and now having new kids but other kids that are, obviously from previous spouses. And I think just super weighty stuff. And it feels like, I don't know, like Marie said to me, they're just like, you don't even qualify to comment. And I'm not, other than, I've had some experience with this type of thing way back in a previous life, but I feel like it's the idea of, there's so much more great, like marriage is hard already.
Wait, what experience did you have with this?
Well, just being in relationships with people that had kids when I was younger and just stuff like that years ago. It's like, well, you got this it's just messy, right? And I think now if you look at a couple that's trying to do the right thing, it's really hard to be respectful of the fact that, like that's not your bylaw. Like they still, like even just I'm thinking of these things where it's like, hey, obviously they have a dad or a mom, and every family's different. Some have very little contact maybe with parents, with birth parents, but I don't know. I just look at in our home how it's complicated, and then I think how hard marriage is without any of the stuff of dealing with exes and communication and court cases, and there again, everybody's experience is so different because some people are so gracious once they're separated. Some people you'll talk to, we were in a holiday recently and people are talking about the relationship, and they would end up all going on holidays together, and everybody was just kind of like, hey, pretty friendly and could do Christmas dinner together. Other people, like every last thing is a fight. Every last thing is through court, right? But I do think, and this is my posture in general, is that we have to give up to win the war. And that I think a lot of people that have been single parenting, or this is my experience, I mean, I could be wrong, somebody can correct me, but I feel a lot of people single parenting, especially women, but men too, I think, where you're on your own, you're fighting hard, you're fighting for your children or child, and then you get into a relationship and those old habits that probably weren't even healthy then, but you felt like you had to or whatever. Now you're with your spouse, you're kind of like, hey, you know what? Like you're never going to win fighting. Like you're just not. And so there's this thing of like, what does it mean? What are the things that we're taught about in life in general? How does it apply? Like if you read scripture and be like, turn the other cheek. Hey, someone asked for your coat, give them give them your sweater too, or whatever. Like these ideas, like, are we being that way with our ex? Right. Yeah. And we're going to probably say, no, we're not, because it's for the better of our children. Right? Like, is it, or is it just, hey, we just feel like we're being violated or they're being unjust? Yeah. And like, life's not just, like life's not fair.
Right.
Reminds me of my briefcase in the barn story where the briefcase got stolen. I thought I got all the stuff back, right? Well, they kept a couple checks. The checks bounced. And now the bank sends me, it's TD, right? They send me a letter the other day saying, guess what? You're not getting your money back either. Yeah. Which I don't totally understand that. There's probably people that are in the banking world that maybe get it. I mean, I didn't have the check signed. They were like forged. Everything was forged.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the moral of the story is like, I can choose to be super angry and post it all over social media and hope that TD's shamed, or call them, or switch like how much mental, like what's it worth to fight that fight, right?
Well, I mean, then it just never stops, right? I mean, you see that in Israel and Gaza.
Vicious circle.
It just never ends. Like forgiveness is the way that these
the pathway
things end.
To peace.
Yeah.
That pathway to peace is forgiveness, and it's so hard, right? Yeah. And especially I think because if I look at this is my perception from what I see with the people I know that are in, and lots of different people I know are in the spot, varying degrees of messiness. It's perpetual because, you'll have childhood, and then you'll have visits, and then you'll have school stuff. And then pretty soon it becomes what autonomy and freedom looks like for the child, and who gets to decide when they get a phone.
Yeah.
Dad says, hey, we're not doing phones till they're 13 or 16. And the other parents saying, oh, you know what I mean? So you get that. And then you have, college and who's helping pay for what, and all this stuff, right? And holidays, and
drives us to your knees.
It should, but it's like, I do think there's a sense of, like I say, nobody will fight for a child like the parent, right?
Yeah.
Whether it be the mom or the dad. And so a lot of things that are good traits in a lot of ways that are probably, they can quickly become unhealthy, especially like I say, if our child is our idol or whatever. And that's, there again, that's another sermon illustration, but just the idea of like, hey, once we're married, we need to be, our primary responsibility is to our spouse.
I think it also, like, for me, reminds me
Do you agree with that, by the way?
Well,
So I've heard it said in a sermon that if you're married, your first love would be God, your second, your spouse, and then after that, your kids.
Yes,
Would you agree with that statement?
100% has to be your.
Okay.
100%.
Some people don't agree with that. There'd be people that would really push back on that.
I must read a different Bible.
Okay.
That's not a fair argument. But it reminds me of something. I had a conversation with a guy last week that I ran into. I hadn't seen him about 2 years. And last time I seen him, and I went for coffee with him, and he was sitting across from me, and he said, and me and Nicole were separated. And I was like, I was done. I wanted to give up. I wanted to quit. And I was just like, I can't do this anymore. It's too hard. And this guy had gotten divorced and was remarried. And he said, Kyle, do not give up. Keep going. He goes, it might seem impossible. It might seem like you can't keep going. He goes like that. He goes like, I don't care. Like, keep going. Do not give up. And there were so many times where I was just like, I was done. I could not keep going. I was finished. I was like, let's leave the marriage. I will for sure be happier if I leave. And even if the kids have to be in 2 different homes and this and that. And I'm so thankful that I had a bunch of guys in my life that were just so hard and blunt with me and said, like, Kyle, shut up, do the right thing, keep going.
Fight for your wife.
Fight for your
even
wife,
if she doesn't want to be with you right now. Yeah. Which there again, it's complicated, right? I'm always scared to allude to these things because I feel like.
But you don't know what God can do, right? Like even
and even with people, even in your case where it's like, and I mean, Marie and I were just talking about this the other day. There's people that I think the more crazy it is and the farther people are from doing the right thing, and it's just that much more of a miracle that can happen. And we have seen it. I have seen it. So I say it very confidently because I've literally seen it. I've seen what,
Well, I was talking to Kim on my podcast. So this will come out soon. And she pushed me quite hard to get divorced.
Okay.
And I pushed hard back about it, and that'll come out when it gets published. But I said, what do you think about it now? And this is coming from someone that's not a Christian and her view on that. And she goes like, the only thing I can come up with is it's a miracle that me and Nicole are back together. And it is. But, God loves marriage and it is a covenant.
Satan hates it.
And Satan hates it, and he does everything to wreck it.
Yeah. And he'll wreck it quicker the second time.
Yeah. Well,
that's a fact.
Yeah.
The stats show that.
70%, I think.
Yeah. It's really, really tough the second go around.
I mean, it's way more complicated, right? With kids and everything involved and stuff. But it just, like, if you're in a hard spot and it's impossible, like, go get help, do the right thing, be open to
plead for help with people. Yeah.
Go work on the things that you need to change. Like, pray for your spouse. It's if you keep going, even if it takes 3 years, 5 years. For me, it was 9 years of just like, the last, especially the last 3 of the 9 was just so brutal. But now it's like we have another baby coming in 5 weeks. Me and Nicole are in a better spot and more in love than we ever have been. And it's miraculous. And I think, we forget about that, and we don't trust God, and we think we're smarter, and we take things into our own hands, and
Anyways, you should have somebody that's far along in the journey of a blended family, somebody healthy, and have them on. And
if you know anybody,
I will think about it and get back to you on that.
Okay, what's our time here?
We can end soon. I had one question.
Hey guys, if you enjoyed that episode and were blessed by it, would you be willing to support the show? That would help a lot in creating more content, improving the quality of the content, putting the production value, getting more guests on, and me being able to spend more time and energy towards it. So if you're interested in doing that, you can click up here and it'll take you to a support page. But you can also subscribe to the podcast by clicking over here and doing that. Thanks again for listening, and I'll catch you on the next one.